Hi, this is me, Dara, with Elsa, and in honor of the current stellium in Leo, I'm here to talk about what Mars in Leo can teach us about healthy sexuality. So, among other things, Mars rules sexuality, and Leo at its core is fun and creative and a little bit self serving. And these are aspects that, for women especially, are a little bit lacking in our experience of sexuality. There are all kinds of things that go through our heads. How do I look? How do I sound? What's my face doing? What does the other person think of me? What's jiggling that shouldn't be? What's not jiggling that should be? All of these things. But what we generally don't ask ourselves, or at least not nearly enough, is am I having fun? Am I enjoying this? Is this person even good enough for me? Is this experience good enough for me? And it's really a shame that we don't ask these things because we are all responsible for our own pleasure. And Mars in Leo asks us, instead of saying, am I good enough here? It asks, is this good enough for me? And when we're able to take responsibility for our own sexuality that way, we can get creative about how to fix it. So I'll give you an example from a friend of mine. A friend of mine has vaginismus, and for those of you who aren't familiar, it's involuntary contraction of the pelvic floor muscles that makes many sex acts difficult, if not impossible. And this was really difficult for her, understandably, especially because she was a single lady, and it's not the greatest opener. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. Most of your favorite things are not things I can do. Bye. It's difficult for her. And she got down on herself a lot and just felt like maybe she just wasn't worthy of this entire aspect of human existence. But eventually she got kind of tired of that thinking, as she should have, because it was unhealthy and not helpful. And she decided to take responsibility for her own sexuality. So first, she got herself a boudoir photo shoot, which is pure Mars and Leo, isn't it? It's let me be glamorous and dramatic and get dressed up and be creative, and it was in service of no one but her. And it allowed her to start to look at herself a little bit differently and to see the value that she had. And that gave her the confidence to, the next time she met a guy who was kind of pushing back and being pouty about her medical stuff, she was able to say, you know what? Maybe this isn't my problem so much as the fact that you only know how to do like two things. So maybe brush up on your skills, guy. And, that might not have been the nicest way to handle things, but given the circumstances, it was pretty healthy. And then she started thinking, like, okay, so if I want them to brush up on their skills because they need to, maybe I need to too. So she found herself a few, fun guys over the years who she was able to experiment with and kind of build up her skills and her sense of what she could do. So when she finally found the right man, she had built up this confidence to the point that instead of being like, oh, God, there's so many things I can't do, she was able to look at him and say, hey, you want to see what a girl with vaginismus can do? And it worked out really well for her, as it should have. Again, we're all responsible for our own sexuality, and we're all responsible for our own pleasure, and we're responsible for having fun with that. And she took that responsibility, and she was able to shine. And it's an important thing for us to do, because when we shine, as we are, we allow other people to do it too. When we bring a little bit of joy and fun into the mix, that's something that everybody can experience and enjoy. Think about it. How often does your body do something weird or make a funny sound or whatever? And how nice is it to be able to laugh about it? Because this should be fun. And this doesn't just apply to sexuality. I really encourage you, wherever Leo is right now, wherever this big stellium in Leo is sitting in your chart, ask yourself, is this fun? Am I having a good time? Who am I serving here? And if it's not me, why isn't it me? And how can I get creative to bring a little bit of joy into my life in this area? Because that's what Leo is about. Leo teaches other people to shine by example. So again, wherever Leo is in your chart right now, I really strongly suggest ask if you're having fun. And I think you might find that you help other people too by being just a little bit self-serving that way. And, have a little bit of fun too. All right, this has been me, Dara, with Elsa Elsa. I hope it helped.